two living legends are going to be fighting each other.
Nah. He gonna get a check. Floyd's gonna get a check. And they're gonna get a check that's real huge because of their names.
If you know behind the scenes, this is a bit personal. Mike Tyson's never been a great fan of Floyd Mayweather.
Mike Tyson and Floyd Mayweather remain two of boxing's most iconic figures. Their names still spark heated debates as experts continue to compare styles, skills, and legacies in a matchup that exists only in imagination, yet fuels endless conversation. Meanwhile, on Ariel Helwani's show, the panel, including Ariel Helwani and Eric Jackman, discussed the idea of Tyson facing Mayweather, focusing on whether fans would actually be interested. They explained that a fight like this depends heavily on timing. With Tyson's last performance against Jake Paul and Mayweather being away from the spotlight, they believe the excitement is no longer there, making the matchup less appealing to today's audience.
I do not think it happens. I just don't think there will be enough interest. I know they have huge name value. There's zero after the last performance by Mike Tyson against Jake Paul. I don't think there's going to be interest in seeing Mike Tyson do that again. I think if this match was made on the heels of Mike Tyson versus Roy Jones Jr., I think this would be blockbuster. I think people would be falling over themselves to consume this. After the Jake Paul version of Mike Tyson, I don't think anybody's going to be interested.
Tyson will be close to 60 by the time this happens.
And Mayweather has been out of the spotlight for a lot longer now.
Yeah.
I don't think there's interest.
After debating fan interest, both analysts went further on Tyson versus Mayweather. They felt that even if the fight happened, it wouldn't deliver much excitement. They explained that exhibitions can sometimes work, but only under the right conditions. The Tyson versus Roy Jones event, for example, had timing, nostalgia, and balance that fans enjoyed. With Mayweather, they believed it wouldn't carry the same weight or energy.
Oh, White House card seems to be happening. I gotta eat my curl on that one.
Yeah.
It's tough. Tyson, Floyd,
No chance.
also, even if it does happen, it's just like, who really cares?
Yeah.
Like, it's not them at their highest level. It's an exhibition. Everybody will clown on it when it eventually does happen.
There is a way that exhibitions can be fun. Tyson versus Roy Jones was actually like the best version of that, right? An exhibition that like I thought was exciting, delivered for the fans. But also, that was so long ago for Mike Tyson. The version that we saw
like
against
early
Jake Paul-
50s.
Yeah, the version that we saw against Jake Paul just can't.
The conversation then shifted to comparing Tyson's past exhibitions with what Mayweather could bring. Tyson versus Roy Jones worked during the pandemic because it was nostalgic and felt meaningful at that time. Tyson versus Jake Paul was different, pairing youth against experience. However, with Mayweather, both Eric and Ariel struggled to find a fresh angle, emphasizing the size difference and the lack of a strong storyline to make it interesting today.
Against the guy around his size, too. Floyd Mayweather is not that.
Roy's pretty small, but
So
no, not as small as Floyd though.
Yeah, Roy fought at heavyweight at one time.
Yeah, Floyd is very small.
Mike Roy was super interesting. It was in the very kind of early stages of the pandemic.
Yeah,
8 months in, but we were still kind of dark and depressed at that point. And like Tyson hadn't fought. It was nostalgic. It was Roy. Okay, so I got the appeal. I got the appeal of Jake because he was so much younger and he's, a novice compared to Tyson. I don't know. Okay, now what's the appeal here? You know what I mean?
Two of the greatest boxers ever to fight each other.
Just, I feel like we just saw that with Tyson and Roy. You know what I mean? Like that's kind of the same hook.
I feel like Tyson and Roy didn't have the same vast reach that
was a
Jake
big
Paul
deal.
versus.
Oh, no. Yeah, I was saying, we checked that one off with Tyson Roy.
On the other side, former Olympic boxer Tony Jeffries also weighed in with a strong opinion. He began by questioning whether fans should see this matchup as a privilege or simply a money grab. From his view, it was clear the fight was never about legacy. Instead, he explained why the event is only an exhibition and how it follows the same formula used in Tyson's previous exhibitions.
My prediction is at the end of this video, but first we've got to talk about a few things about this fight. Are we really privileged to be able to see this, or is it a bloody joke and a big money-making scheme? Well, of course it's a money-making scheme, and that's why they're doing it. They're not doing this for their legacy. This is actually a exhibition fight, which means it won't go on their records. They probably will be wearing bigger gloves than 10 ounce, and they'll be doing less rounds. I wouldn't even be surprised if they're doing 2-minute rounds like we're seeing Mike Tyson do with Jake Paul.
After outlining the business side, Jeffries compared this fight to Tyson's past exhibitions. He reminded fans that when Tyson faced Jake Paul, there was at least some mystery about the outcome. Tyson trained hard, made bold promises, and people wondered if he still had knockout power. Jeffries argued that with Mayweather, however, the script feels predictable and follows a pattern boxing fans have seen many times before.
So because of this, it's just a big money-making scheme for everyone that's involved. And that being said, when Mike Tyson fought Jake Paul, that was the same. But back then, we didn't know what was going to happen with that fight, because it was like, has Mike Tyson still got a little bit to be able to knock out Jake Paul? And we didn't know what to expect, because Mike was putting work in the build-up to that fight, talking about how he's going to destroy Jake Paul. So we kind of believed that. But now, Money Mayweather is doing what he's done throughout his full career.
Adding on, former UFC fighter Brendan Schaub didn't hold back when giving his take. He argued that the matchup is more about selling hype than real competition. For him, calling it an exhibition says everything fans need to know. Schaub stressed that at this stage in their lives, both fighters are far past their prime, making the event more about business than boxing itself.
This is Floyd Mayweather versus Mike Tyson in an exhibition bout in 2026.
I don't know what to say anymore. This whole thing is a big sell, and it's an exhibition, and you're going to get hoodwinked again, and they're going to move around, and nobody's going to get hurt. And that's the state of boxing right now.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you can reference, well, they've had bad blood in the past. Cool. One of them is 50 years old. He's 48, but we'll just say 50. Floyd is 50 years old. Mike Tyson is 60 years old. This isn't your normal 50 and 60-year-old. This is a very weathered, hard miles, 50 and 60-year-old fighting for your entertainment. I have no desire to watch this.
Furthermore, Roy Jones Jr. said he doesn't hate on anyone and respects fighters who make big events happen. He explained that even if Mike Tyson didn't look perfect against Jake Paul, it's not about that. Boxing is a sport where making money is part of the game, and he applauds them for it. He also noted the announcement's timing came right before other major boxing events, keeping fans interested.
And I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. I'm the type of guy, I don't hate on nobody. I don't want to hate on nobody because I'm not really a hater like that. So it's like, if they're gonna do it and make it something big for the public to see, and they're gonna make money doing it, my hat goes off to them. More power to them. I'm not that kind of guy. You know, it's like, you know, you can sit there and pick it apart and say, well, Mike didn't look good against Jake, or this and that, or that and that, but it's not that. You know, it's like, maybe he had a bad night. We'll see what happens this time. So you should never hate on anybody making money in the sport, because that's what this sport is for. But my hat goes off to them. It's funny, but you know, that they would announce it the week of all the chaos I got going on, and the week before the Canelo fight. But somebody told me that there was going to be a big announcement like that coming around the time of the Canelo fight, and there it is. So that somebody was correct.
Moving on, Bill Haney had a very different view from the skeptics. He focused on the fight as a true celebration of boxing legends. For him, it's not about comparing Tyson or Mayweather to younger fighters or past exhibitions. Haney believes this matchup deserves attention and support because it honors their careers, gives fans something special, and shows how boxing can celebrate its biggest names.
Let's kill some of this propaganda, and more importantly, let's talk about the biggest and most important exhibition in boxing right now. Floyd Mayweather and Mike Tyson. Now you're talking about a real exhibition amongst two legends that deserve to get plenty of money together. Let's break records. Let's everybody go out and support a real exhibition amongst two legends. This is how the game is supposed to go. We don't need to confuse them with the other fighters and all that. Shout out to Floyd and shout out to Mike.
Haney also talked about the money side, saying legendary fighters should earn big for their efforts. He compared their potential earnings to the mint, highlighting how special this event is. For him, this matchup is pure celebration, historic, and deserves fan support. He saw no negatives, only a chance to honor two of boxing's greatest and give fans an exciting exhibition between true icons.
Let it check more money than the what's that place where they print the money? the Mint. Made a check more money than the Mint can print. You know what I mean? Yeah. Made the check more money than the Mint can print. A real exhibition amongst two legends in the sport of boxing. How could that be something wrong with that?
Meanwhile, Jeff Mayweather, Floyd's uncle and longtime trainer, added his own perspective, focusing on the intensity fighters can bring even in exhibitions. He acknowledged that while agreements and rules exist, the competitive nature of boxing doesn't completely disappear. Jeff highlighted that despite any personal feelings or agreements, the fight is also about big paydays, with both Tyson and Floyd set to earn huge sums because of their legendary names.
Nah. He gonna get a check. Floyd's gonna get a check. And they're gonna get a check that's real huge because of their names. So nobody's finna fuck their money up.
Furthermore, on the Joe Budden TV show, analysts discussed how this fight impacts the legacies of both Tyson and Mayweather. They admitted that while it will make huge money and attract attention, the matchup doesn't make sense competitively, with the large weight difference and their age. The panel questioned whether watching it would honor the fighters' histories or just turn into a spectacle for entertainment.
I want to talk about Mike Tyson and Floyd Mayweather. Yeah. That's actually the thing that I wanted to talk about, because to me, this is rock bottom. I know it's gonna make a lot of money, and I'll probably watch it. I'll probably have a fight party. So I'm part of the problem.
Such a coon.
I am a whole coon. I'm trying to tell you right now. However, I wish they wouldn't do it. I think too much of Mike Tyson to watch him lose, which I think too much of Floyd Mayweather to watch him lose in an exhibition fight. I don't want to watch either of these people.
They then discussed the spectacle side of the event. While it may be painful for fans to watch, it has a certain draw, like watching an accident unfold. The analysts acknowledged their own curiosity, admitting that hype and fame make it hard to resist. Still, they stressed that this type of fight could harm both fighters' legacies, even as it generates massive revenue and public attention.
There's 60-pound difference. They shouldn't be fighting each other. They're 100 years old. I don't want to see it.
It's gonna be a horrible fight. But you do want to see it. You said I'm watching it.
I want to see it for the spectacle of it. It's like watching a bus accident. And I'm saying,
but that
like,
means you want to see it.
Yeah, and I'm saying I began by I'm part of the problem.
And guess what niggas do? They put together a whole bunch of accidents, put a compilation together, and put them out to the world and make money off of it.
Yeah, and I just wish, I wish I didn't want to see that shit. I wish I had the discipline to not watch it, because I'm part of the problem. But I also just know this isn't good for either their legacy.
Adding on, former world champion Paulie Malignaggi also shared his reaction, focusing on the surprise and confusion surrounding this matchup. He admitted that he hadn't even heard about the exhibition until recently. For him, the fight raises questions about whether it truly makes sense competitively. Still, he acknowledged that for casual fans, it will likely become a massive spectacle, drawing attention even from those outside the boxing world.
I just heard about that. What are they gonna do?
Wait, you didn't know about that?
No, yeah, I didn't know about it. Exhibition?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, it's wild.
Is it the biggest fight? Does it make sense?
It's gonna be the biggest fight for all the casuals.
Furthermore, Sean Porter shared his doubts about the Tyson versus Mayweather exhibition, focusing on the difference between real boxing and staged events. He pointed out that while shows like WWE are accepted as entertainment, similar antics wouldn't work in a real boxing ring. Porter stressed that the fight doesn't make sense competitively, and he questioned whether it could ever be executed in a way that feels legitimate to fans.
What a fight between Mike Tyson and Floyd Mayweather could look like, right? So then you think about when Floyd got in the ring with Big Show, we already know, like we know now more than we've ever known before that the WWE is fake. It's kind of like acceptable. Yeah. But it wouldn't be acceptable in a boxing ring, you know? It wouldn't be acceptable if there becomes some sort of weird antics and things like that. I mean, I guess I'll have to do what I did once before with Mike and Jake, and I'm gonna go on record for saying this doesn't happen.
Yeah, you think it falls apart sometime before.
This doesn't make sense. I don't know. I don't know how you can make it make sense. I don't know this one, how you can make this one make sense.
On the other side, Daniel Cormier shared his perspective, highlighting the extreme weight difference and how unrealistic the fight seems. He respected both Tyson and Mayweather, but emphasized honesty for fans. DC stressed that while admiration for fighters is natural, analysts need to point out the realities. He reminded viewers that Mayweather has always been much smaller, making a matchup against heavyweight Tyson almost impossible. He said, "Mike." So when he starts going crazy, I'm like, yo, that's Mike. I gotta be careful. They're actually gonna fight again, guys. Ridiculous. 200 pounds, 140. Floyd Mayweather was fighting at 154, and he was severely undersized at 154. Further, he added, Floyd Mayweather was a guy who fought in the 100s to start his career and then fought up as high as 160. Maybe Floyd Mayweather was a small guy. He's not gonna fight Mike Tyson, who is the heavyweight champion of the world. Moving on, Johnny Nelson shared his take on the personal rivalry between Mike Tyson and Floyd Mayweather. He explained that Tyson has never been a big fan of Floyd, and some tension has existed between them for years. Nelson highlighted that age and current fitness levels are key factors, noting that Tyson is older and may not train as actively, while Mayweather still keeps himself in good shape.
If you know behind the scenes, this is a bit personal. Mike Tyson's never been a great fan of Floyd Mayweather. I think at one time he said something like, at least I can walk my kids to school. These guys have had a spat back and forth between them. Now my worry is Mike Tyson at 58 years old, he's probably not as physically active in the gym, in the boxing gym as Floyd is. Floyd still keeps himself in relative good condition. I mean, hitting the bag, moving around and things like that. Floyd's 48, Mike's 59, I think he's a year older than me. But because there's that distinct between them, and it's real, because there's that between them, I think ego is going to get the better of Mike rather than common sense.
Nelson then focused on how their styles and physical differences might affect the fight. He explained that age changes the advantage Tyson once had with his size and power. Mayweather's movement and experience could give him the upper hand despite being smaller. Nelson suggested that ego might influence Tyson's decisions, turning the matchup into a public display of rivalry rather than a straightforward contest of skill.
Common sense is Mike Tyson, Floyd Mayweather in the day. You look at the size difference between these two. Mike Tyson would eat him alive, but now he's 59 years old, and that style suits a young man. It doesn't suit an old man. Floyd Mayweather, even though he might be smaller, he'll be the one that's got the movement. He's got he's still got the run craft. It's like me getting in the ring with a 14-year-old kid that doesn't know half as what I know, but he's got the pace, he's got the movement. And even though Floyd's 48, he'll still have more movement and pace than Mike. So then it's going to be, oh, I want to get him. So to me, it's one of those you want to watch between your eyes. But when I heard, I thought, wow, really? This is an argument that's going to be held out in public.
Finally, Nelson highlighted the rivalry between Tyson and Mayweather, noting differences in age, fitness, and fighting styles. He explained how ego and personal history could influence the fight more than skill alone. Building on that, Nelson now questions the rules and structure of the exhibition, suggesting that both fighters may ignore any scripted plan, making the matchup unpredictable and fueled by personal tension.
Well, if there are rules, nobody's going to stick to them. I don't believe in a million years Floyd Mayweather is going to stick to any script that's been written in regards to this exhibition. And I don't think Mike will either. I don't think, if there's anything scripted, allegedly, they said with Mike and Jake Paul, I don't think whatever's written down, there's going to be anybody sticking to the rules, because this is beyond what we see on TV. This is beyond this is personal. These two guys worked together previously and still do probably, but I've never seen an interaction, a positive interaction between Tyson and Floyd Mayweather. I just haven't.
In the end, the Tyson versus Mayweather exhibition highlights the state of modern boxing. This isn't about legacies, skill, or fair competition. Instead, it's a spectacle built for hype, nostalgia, and massive paydays. While fans will watch out of curiosity, the fight raises questions about credibility, the physical gap between legends, and whether boxing is moving toward entertainment over sport. So what do you think? Would you watch this fight for the excitement or skip it because it doesn't make sense competitively? Comment your thoughts below.